Jon Hendricks, a great jazz singer and vocalist and lyricist, wrote a one-word poem about jazz. It's listen, with an exclamation point. And the number one thing is to do that, because if you listen to a great, say, Sonny Rollins recording, or Clark Terry recording, or Ella Fitzgerald recording, then without any music in the room, people can sing along with it. If they can sing along with it, then they can start playing along with it. If they can play along with it, they can start discovering it. So the best way to get started is probably to put on a recording of something that is an accessible medium tempo piece, and bossa nova or a blues or a swing tune that's not difficult, and have everybody listen to it and imitate it and make that happen. The other thing about singing along with it, even if they're instrumentalists, is it lowers their inhibitions, because then when they go back to their instruments to experiment, they feel like that's home base, and they think, okay, now I feel even more comfortable improvising over my instrument. But by singing with a great Count Basie recording, playing the shout section to April in Paris, or by singing with Ella Fitzgerald, singing Them Their Eyes, or by singing with Miles Davis playing on Kind of Blue, you can you can prove to yourself that you hear a vocabulary. You're mimicking their vocabulary. We learn our language, most of us English, from our parents and our friends. We didn't learn it from a book or a CD-ROM or an encyclopedia in the crib. You have to learn jazz from your parents. You have to listen to it and imitate them just like you imitated your family when you were young. And when that happens, then everything else can follow without the kind of pressure that comes from kind of an expectation that until you have these 6 or 12 scales down in all keys, you don't have a license to improvise. That puts a lot of pressure on people that they don't need in order to express and be creative. The number one thing that a student or a director needs to improvise is to know how they feel about improvising, and therefore what they want to express. And you can't get that out of a scale. You have to get that out of an experiment. And singing along is that great experiment.
Can you improvise with singing right now?
Sure. And when I do, I can improvise based on you. So you said, can you improvise with singing right now? So first of all, without pitch, you've given me rhythm. Ba-da-de, da-de, do-de, do-de, something like that. So ba-da-de, do-de, do-de, do-de. With that, I could set up a groove. Ba-da-de, do-de, do-de, do-de. A ba-da-de, ba-do-de, da-de, do-de. A ba-do-de, da-do-de, do-de, do-de. Be-bo-be-de, do-de, do-de, da-do-de-da. O-do-do-de, da-do-do-de, da-do-de, de-do-de-do-do, de-do-de-do-da, de-do-de, do-de-do-de. I mean, everything we do is music. Everything we hear, every syllable, every name has a rhythm and has pitch to it. It rises and falls. And if we can make people aware of that, then when they improvise, it's never a question of what am I going to play, which is like Snoopy and Peanuts looking at a piece of paper and saying, it was a dark and stormy night, trying to figure out how to write a book. If you are aware of what's going around you, then you hear something, and your question instead of becomes, what am I going to play, it becomes, what am I going to say about what I just heard? Even right now, if I listen, I hear an electronic buzz. That'll give me enough material for a long time. So capitalizing on what we hear is really the basis for improvisation. It gives us a feeling, and then we can make music about that feeling. It doesn't come out of a book, it comes out of experimentation and risk-taking.